Hey, C-Pop Universe. So we just finished up our movie R&D on Captain Marvel. And this is kind of our after show. We were just sitting around discussing a little bit of the politics that preceded the release of the movie. And we thought we'd throw the camera back on and just give you a chance to kind of join the conversation. So we're just going to talk a little bit about it. Please feel free to drop us a comment below and give us your thoughts on the topic. So, Brandon, I know that you feel kind of passionate about this. Mm-hmm. Not really about the politics of it because you hate that.
Yes.
But more of the effect that it's having.
Yeah. First, I mean, you guys kind of know this because we were talking, and I thought her comment was really stupid. I don't think it's fair to alienate anyone in the art form of storytelling.
Yeah, and we discussed this on our last podcast. You know, Brie Larson was at an award show and basically said that when she did A Wrinkle in Time, which was a while ago, she said that she didn't really care. Do you want to read the quote? She didn't care what...
I don't need a 40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work about A Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't made for him, which I hate that part more. I want to know what it meant to women of color, biracial, yada, yada, yada. People that are not white dudes.
So that's a comment that has come to kind of bite her in the butt.
So let's just talk candidly right now.
Right.
Andrew, what do you think about that comment? Because you didn't really chime in too much when me and Christy were kind of arguing about it. And I think we're all on the same page. Ultimately, I just think we're kind of all have a slightly skewed look of from where we're sitting.
I don't know if it was the best thing to say, but would you say something like Land Before Time is made for adults? That's obviously made for kids, right?
Yeah.
So, like, should adults still give their opinion on it?
That's a good example. Exactly.
Yeah.
I can watch that movie and have an opinion on it every as good as bit as a 5-year-old, right?
Right. So, like, I see what she's getting at, that maybe this was just a kid's movie, but, like, there's not going to be kid reviewers probably anywhere.
Yeah, right.
Like, what the heck?
You mean A Wrinkle in Time?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it was made for adults. I don't think it was just a kid's movie. It's just a terrible movie. I mean,
it wasn't a good movie.
Maybe she's butthurt because people hated it, but it had nothing to do with having a woman cast.
Right.
It was just a bad movie, you know?
Yeah.
They did that with Ghostbusters, and that's what was super irritating. That movie sucked, and not because it had a woman cast. I thought that it could have been cool. They were just very bad actresses, and like they weren't funny.
They didn't execute it well.
Yeah, and so
there's so many things wrong with that movie.
The bigger one, I don't remember their names, but I hate to say bigger, but she was the bigger one out of the ones. She was like, oh, everyone hated it because it was a female cast. Like, instead of looking in the mirror and being like, maybe I'm the bad actress, maybe we didn't do a good job with that movie, we're gonna lash out and
play that card.
Like, yeah. And I don't think Brie's doing that though. I think that's the difference.
Yeah. This is what pains me about this. I think that she is trying to bring awareness to an issue that actually exists, and these words have detracted from the issue and have put the focus more on her words instead of the purpose of what she's trying to say.
Right.
I think it was a bad choice of words. I think whenever you bring ageism or racism or stereotypes into the conversation, your voice, you lose your platform.
Well, I think you're just being incredibly closed-minded at that point.
Well, and I think you're talking more out of a place of emotion than a place of reason and a place where people that don't agree with you, because those are the people you're trying to talk to and persuade, stop listening. You know?
I guess you could have learned from Captain Marvel, you know? Supposed to just control your emotions.
Ooh.
See, I guess it's long and short. We could talk about it all day. And, I don't agree with some of the things that you guys are even saying or whatever. It doesn't really matter. We're just discussing. Mm-hmm. I think what matters and why I really want to have this talk with you guys is, do you think it's fair that people can latch on to one moment in someone's time when she said this and really put the screws to some things that might be building in the future? Now, Disney has to sit there and at least have a look at this.
They have to acknowledge it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Rotten Tomatoes kind of changed their paradigm because of the backlash, and they can say that they didn't all day. They did, you know. Mm-hmm. is that going to be like Disney could actually sit down and be like, listen, we signed this lady on for 5 or 7 more movies appearances, depending on what article you believe. But obviously she's going to be the centerpiece for the MCU with Chris Evans and
which was a risk anyways to take.
Well, with Robert Downey
you
Jr.
have
and
to
them
admit.
leaving, the phase end, they're going to try some new stuff. And personally, I don't think she can carry it with her acting, but whatever. Do you think, like, Disney's got to look at this?
Yeah.
There's billions of dollars at stake because people are going to latch onto this one moment that this lady had, whether she meant it or not. Like, it doesn't matter to me. Like, let's look at the movie for what the movie is and the storytelling for what the storytelling is, and let that be what it is. If you don't like Brie Larson, that's one thing. But if you're gonna shit on this movie and tell people not to watch it, that it's a terrible movie, make up lies, go on these sites and bomb it and give it 1 reviews when you haven't even watched it, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not just Brie Larson who you're screwing over. There's hundreds of people, even the small people, the set designers, the whoever, a lot of people go into making these. You're screwing them too, and you have to understand that when you do these things. So I think the public and us and everybody has to be a little bit more responsible with what they do online because it affects people.
Yes.
And I'm not going to bat for Brie. I don't know her. Don't give 2 shits about her. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know her, but I just don't think it's like it was fair for that to happen. And I hated her
not
statement.
fair.
I thought it was credibly asinine thing to say.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess this is
I'm
like
rambling. You guys, somebody cut me off.
No, but it is true. I do think Disney has to acknowledge it.
yeah, of course.
Because as much as we want to live in the ideal world where, public opinion doesn't have an effect on, important things, it does. It can change the course of major decisions. And I think that they have to look at that and say, can Brie Larson continue to carry this franchise if that's their purpose when she's in essence alienated such a large group of fans? Because
That's the question.
I mean
That's it. That's the nuts and bolts.
Yeah.
If this happened like in the 80s or something, would this even be a problem?
It wouldn't because most people wouldn't even heard of it.
Right.
Like the internet's
That's
just
true.
making everything easily, and it gives everyone a voice.
Yep.
And I want people to have voices, but I want people to have responsibility with their
Yeah.
voices. Like, if you bombed the movie before it came out because you hadn't seen it, you're irresponsible with your voice.
I guess a lot of this has to do with it just being like the age of influencers, I guess you could say.
Oh yeah.
Because she's definitely an influencer.
Oh, sure.
Yes, and then other people who take what she says are also influencers and are trying to make money off of it
Lots of them.
because that's clickbait, know?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
So, especially right now, influencers got to really just watch what they do,
And here's the thing, it's a question, like, whose fault is it? Is it the influencer? There's a guy, like, I don't even want to say his name. He's a YouTube influencer, and he's got like 10 videos or 15 videos of this crap, but he's getting 300,000 views a video.
That's a lot. That's a pretty big impact.
He's making money off this bullshit.
Yeah.
That's only one person.
Is it his fault for being a shill because you're a shill according? Oh, I said his name. Or is it the people's fault for clicking on his video? Because can you blame him
Well-
if they make money? I don't know.
I guess this is the thing. Yes, influencers, and we need to be more socially responsible with what we're putting out there on social media. However, in the end, it comes down to each individual person and how they're going to let someone else's words or someone else's opinion sway how they feel about something or what their actions are going to be. Don't allow yourself to be influenced. I don't even want us to influence
She
you.
don't even listen to me.
Okay? You don't just take what we say, and roll with it.
This is entertainment.
Go out, make your own decision.
Yes.
And that's where we need to move in that direction. And if we start moving in that direction, we'll avoid a lot of this craziness.
Yeah.
There's a lot of drama.
It's just incredibly boring to me. Not boring. Like, I don't know. I hate it. I just hate it.
This is just like a non-issue, it seems like.
There's so much crap wrong with the world. I don't get all pretty sheen crap, but like, this is stupid.
But it is an issue.
Brie Larson shouldn't be the next centerpiece because she's a terrible actress. Can we all agree on that?
No, but I will say,
I feel like we watched a different
but
movie.
if it was between Spider-Man and Brie Larson,
Oh, I'd definitely pick Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Anytime. 10
I
times.
know, right? I really thought that's the direction they would go. So
They might.
Everyone loves Spider-Man.
Well, they might now.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
All right, we just thought we'd share our discuss. We didn't.
Spider-Cade.
Will you shut up? We just thought we'd share. I don't even know. We often talk like this after the cameras roll or done rolling
Yeah.
from the podcast. So we just thought we'd try taping it and see if anything good came out of it. I don't think it did. I'm kidding. I love that disappointed look on her face.
But like we said at the beginning, guys, if you have an opinion or thought or something you'd like to share, we'd love to hear from you. What do you think about this whole debacle? Do you think it will influence how Disney moves forward or the decisions that they'll make? Should it? Leave us a comment. Drop us a thought.
Wrap it.
Latest C-Pup universe.
See you guys.